Welcome back to Mike's Man Cave and welcome back to another van life related video. Now my van's sitting over there, the dash is sitting over there behind me. Let's have a look at what's going on and what we're up to. Now here's my dash that is just about ready to go back into the van, and I am doing a slight modification. I have filed this hole out. Have a look at that. I didn't film it, but I've used that file in that file, and it's taken a little bit of patience. It needs a little bit more down the top and down the bottom. And what I'm doing is I'm fitting this into it. It's a UHF radio plug, and this one here, this part here that it's sitting in, because it's a bit of a weird setup, I used an old switch like this that wasn't working anymore, and I've taken the switch out, and this just happened to fit in there. You can see some residue there where it's been glued in. That will all be cleaned up and painted eventually. And this is where the UHF hand receiver controller plugs in. So I'll have a plug here where that will just plug in. If you don't remember what's supposed to be there, I've got an old dash here, a spare dash from the wreckers, and this is what it used to look like. And I believe in some of the diesel models, it might have a choke there for the diesel. I think that's what it's actually for. I'm not 100% sure, but generally this is just blanked off in all the petrol models. But there's a hole there, so I thought I might as well use it, because the handset for the UHF will be mounted up there. We'll see all that when it goes back in. This is just the spare dash. And I'm not actually going to install the tacho dash with the tacho dial yet. And I'm not going to install the pod gauges yet, because I don't have all the parts to complete the job. So believe it or not, I'm going to put this dash in the car just so I can use the car again and use it for camping, because I've got a trip coming up in about 2 weeks' time. And then eventually this will have to come back out once I get all the parts that I need. But we've already done all the central locking wiring, we've done the UHF, we've done all the switches, we've done the switches for the driving lights. I've got blanking panel for that, which I think is over here. So I've got the two blanking panels, there's nothing in there. This is for the driving lights. That's for the back demister. The UHF panel will go on there, as I just showed you. The radio will go there, our Kenwood stereo system, and the glove box. So this is just about ready to go back in. I've had Jessie under the van tightening up my bull bar. Only because she's younger, she's under there, and it's a hell of a job. You need small fingers. And I've supported the bull bar there using the jack and a piece of timber, and I had to do that to get the gap under the headlight right. And as you can see there, it's not 100% even yet. We're still going to jack up that side. So that's starting to look really, really good, and we'll have all that tightened up today, because really we've still got a little bit of work to do. The back of it is nearly done. I'm going to have to get some foam mattresses cut next week, and we're just going to put the dash back in. So this is all pretty much back together now. All the wiring is run for the back speakers there. They're labelled driver's side and passenger side speaker. The central locking wiring is over there. We have the new heater control unit there, which works perfectly. I've tested that already. We've got the air conditioning there, another vent controller. So all this will go back in place, hopefully today and tomorrow. Then the seats will go in. I've picked up some Delica seats to put in there. Eventually I will have the original seats recovered, but I'm not worried about that yet. I'm not even going to put the floor mats in, because I've got some brand new ones coming. Pretty much brand new ones. We're picking them up when we go on our trip. I've also got some almost brand new door trims coming, which will better than those ones, so they will go in here, and those door trims there will go in my work van. I've also got some really good covers for the seat belts coming, And I have the headlining panels that need to be recovered and put back in. That'll be done next week. So all those will be done. And then the car will be drivable, and I'll be driving it as is until I collect the parts for the tacho dash, which needs a special wire, special plug that runs via all this sort of stuff. So the dash will have to come out for that anyway. And I'm chasing the temperature sensor, internal temperature sensor for the pod gauges. All the pod gauge stuff is here, but I need more stuff because these are fine. And I've restored the housing. That looks really good, as you can see. But this gauge here is actually, that's the panel that goes on. That's the panel that goes on front of this. And this gauge here is what's missing. This one's broken and it's beyond repair because it's probably only good for spare parts because it's got cracks in it and the fluid will continue leaking out. It's supposed to have fluid in there so this floats properly. But you can get aftermarket ones of these, I believe, if I can't find one. But they have to be ordered from America, from the US. So I might have to do that in the next few weeks. Then I'll have the thing that goes in there and then I can install the pod gauges. But I still need the sensor for the internal temperature reading, as I mentioned earlier. So that's another thing that's hard to get. So that's all going to stay in that box until I get some more parts. And I might be able to pick some of these up on our road trip that's coming up in the van. Now we have been doing a little bit of work. The dash is in. All the accessories still need to be fitted. The glove box and the panel there, the stereo. I've got my CB there, which I've connected up to make sure it works, which it does. And all the dash cluster there and steering wheel still needs to be fitted up. But the frame of the dash has been bolted back in. So there's some progress. There's the steering wheel. So all I want to do is fit the seats, fit the dash, so I can start driving this van as of next week, because in less than 5 days, I'll be off on the road trip. I don't know if you guys have seen this here. It's a plastic step that I scored from the wrecking yard in Sydney, and I believe this is a fairly hard to get part because these only come out, I think, in the luxury model Delekas that had seats in the back, so people would go in and out. There's actually a light that goes in there. I've got that light, I just haven't put it in yet. And this makes it look a lot nicer than just having the bare metal step there. I think it does anyway. And for the few dollars that the wrecking yard charged, I think it was well worth it to finish off the inside here. Here's a few other bits. There's the handpiece for the UHF CB. There's the horn, there's the stereo. All this stuff is going back in. And then I will do an update on what is happening with this van. And the van has passed its roadworthy inspection there, so we are now right to go on our road trip. First piece of foam in, and now we just got to cut all that and drop that in, and we'll be ready to go camping. There we go, have a look at that. Good job, pretty happy with that. You won't believe it, I'm in my shed. The van is pretty much everything's back together, and we're about to head off on our road trip camping for a whole week in 2 days time, and I will be filming that road trip, and there will be quite a few videos. There'll be one video on the whole road trip, and there will be little individual videos of places we might go to eat for reviews and all that sort of stuff. So let's have a look at the van and see what it looks like. And that's pretty much it now. That's how we're going to travel, because I don't have any more time to do anything else. Okay, here's looking at the back. So we do have the mattresses in there. They are cut. I'm going to put some bed sheets on there for now, just so we don't mess up this foam. This foam is really quite expensive. It's 3-inch or 75mm high density foam. I like a firm mattress, and this is perfect. Now it's been cut into 3 pieces, and I will explain the modular setup of this a bit later. What we've got this time is, this is how we'll be traveling. So there's a little fridge there, the little console fridge, and I can sleep here fully stretched out, and Jessie is coming with me. She can sleep here. My daughter, she can sleep there fully stretched out pretty much. Now we've got the king drawers under here which just slide out, and I've got these boxes from, I think it's Crazy Clark's or something. I'll put the name up on the screen, and they perfectly fit into the king's drawers. Now this is just a spare one. It's got all the instructions in there. This is a lot of my camera stuff. Now there's toiletries, and see how they work. I can just take them out and stack them over there. So when I want this one, which has got my Ryobi charger and cables and charging stuff, I can just get to it, and in the meantime they just slide in there. So that's the setup for that drawer, and clothes and stuff can go in there. I've got tools in here. There's another tripod for camera stuff, and there's spaces there which I haven't utilised yet on each side. I've cut a little bit of fatigue matting just to put in here. It still hasn't flattened itself out yet. It will eventually. It's only a mat, so any dirt gets in there, I can just take it out, shake it out, and that's what it looks like underneath. There's all our gauges. There's our 15-litre console fridge that we're taking. We're only really taking this for drinks, and this is what it looks like. In the back, we're still going to put our blankets and our pillows in here. Now, when we're leaving, I'll do a video of this van as we're leaving. It's going to have a lot of stuff in here because we are taking a lot of stuff up to Queensland to start off. That's where we're going initially. And believe it or not, have a look at this. Have a look at this. It's all done. Everything works. I've got the Delica seats that we got in Sydney. These seats are absolutely spotless. I paid $200 for them to replace the ripped shredded seats that I had there. And have a look at that one. They are out of a Mitsubishi Delica van. I've changed my mind. I did say I wasn't going to put the mat in, but I did, because I just want this done now so I can just have this van ready to go. And I will eventually put the pod gauges up here. Most of the wiring for that's already done. And I will eventually upgrade the dash from that standard dash that's there to the tacho dash. And there will be more stuff going in the back. I will be mounting stuff up here, but that's later. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. You will see this when it happens. There will be updates, and the headliner still needs to go in. And again, I'll do that when I get back from my road trip. I'm not worried about it. It just, I've run out of time. I've got to work tomorrow all day, and then I'm leaving very, very early the next morning. So this is what she looks like now. All the bull bars done, repaint it, all the lights work, and that's it, ready to go. So if you've got any questions about anything you saw in today's video, leave your question down below. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favour, give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more videos from Mike's Man Cave. Now, I've got over 1,000 videos on YouTube, so there's plenty to watch, and there will be more videos coming up. I'm currently uploading 3 videos every week, and I have done so for quite some time. And there will be more updates happening with this van, but most interestingly, I will be filming my whole trip. I'll be actually doing a vlog. I haven't done a vlog for ages. There'll be a whole vlog of a 1-week trip in this van. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.